Hello and welcome everybody to this month's forum. It's wonderful to see you. And saying how amazing how we're spoiled by technology and we can use it to improve our Tai Chi. That's wonderful. Now I'm going to start introducing the team and the topic, and then we'll start talking first. The topic is about feedbacks in teaching, and it's really a very, very important topic. I also like to start with the feedback people give to us as instructors. It's really important how you receive people's feedback. I remember I was giving a talk about how I used the ancient theory text about Tai Chi and how I use modern medical science and I convert them into easy to understand language that is doable and more effective. If you defend yourself and spend all the time fighting feedbacks and justify or even antagonize people's feedback, then people are not going to give you feedbacks and you would think you're always right and you'll never improve. So it's really important how you treat feedback. Now the other side, how are we going to give feedbacks, which is Betty, who's been a master trainer for a long time, and we've been working together for a long time too. But of course, Betty's a lot younger than me, and she has a lot of experience in teaching and in medical science as well, and a lot of other experience in life. But she's a great teacher, a great practitioner, and I'm looking forward to hear her talk about tools for feedbacks. So, Betty?
Thank you, Dr. Lam. That was very nice. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the process, what I use, and then how to put it into practical use. So I'm going to use an example. So I'm sure you guys all love Tai Chi as much as me. And isn't that why we became instructors? Because we want to share our love of Tai Chi. So we all know we should provide positive feedback. The hard part is to find the words to say. So it's okay to say, oh, that's nice, or good job, or it's coming along. But it might be more helpful to your class if you could say, nice job taking a small step, or good, whatever, being more specific about what did they do that you're happy with. So that will reinforce what you taught. So it's important that feedback be positive and encouraging. Nobody comes to Tai Chi to get beat up. So it's also important that their movement is safe. It doesn't have to always be accurate. Safe is more important than accurate. I always use the same pieces when I teach this. So my first piece would be this. So what could I look for? Well, I could look for upright posture and the head up. That's no problem, right? I learned Tai Chi watching my feet, and I'm happy to say that most people don't do that. I could look for unlocked knees. I can look for the hands, right? The hands are in closed posture. So where that is, the width of the hands, the fingers are pointed up, away from the chest. I could say that. That keeps the shoulder and the elbows long. But I can also look for elbows down. Elbows down, keep shoulders relaxed. The foot, I could look for, okay, I put all the weight here. I lifted the heel, move the foot over the width of a shoe, put the heel down and put the foot flat, okay, and kept the weight here. So that's a lot of things. So maybe pare that down. So pick a few important ones. So I'm going to pick the small step to the side. And the reason I pick that is because I want them to work into conscious weight transfer. And if they take a big step, we're not going to get there. So the small step is the base for that. So I use that. And upright posture is another fall prevention piece, so I use that. And elbows down. Might seem like a funny thing to put in here, but elbows down, I want them to leave Tai Chi class feeling more relaxed than they came in. That makes Tai Chi much harder. It's already hard enough to do, so don't complicate it by making it more challenging. You want to do the piece yourself, figure out what the endpoints are, pick a few that are important, teach those. Watch for those when they do show me, give them positive encouragement on those. If you need to correct something, great. But the endpoint is going to tell you what things you're going to look for, you're going to teach, and then what you teach, you give praise on, and those will be the important parts. So use your positive feedback to reinforce your teaching and figure out what you want to give positive feedback on. What are the important things? And those are the ones you teach. So that was my Reader's Digest condensed version of giving positive feedback.
Thanks, Betty. That was great. Well, I like it when it started with you are actually looking for positive feedback, what people did right rather than what they did wrong. And that's interesting. When I started teaching Tai Chi a long, long time ago, um, I used to be very proud of myself. I can see a group of people, and I can remember John did this wrong, and Jeff did this wrong, and so on. And I can pick up everybody's mistake, and I tell them all in front of everybody. They can see that's not a very good way. I certainly learned that was the wrong way to teach. And teaching feedback is so important, especially nowadays. There's lots of online lessons and online teaching that giving appropriate feedback is so important. Um, Looking for positive points, that is really good. It's human nature to look at what is wrong, what is not what I believe, and then pick it up. So to actually change your mentality to look at what did right, that is really difficult and immense. And you know what? If you do that, it really encourage people and make them feel more confident and make them improve quicker. And then the bad mistake disappear because they're happy with the whole thing. So that's important. And having said that, just be careful. Don't go overboard with one individual person. You always have one or two really good practitioners, and sometimes you can't help yourself to say, "Hey, Jeff, this is fantastic. I love you do this and I love that." And it put everybody else off too. You want to be careful. The reverse is very true. If you give a negative feedback in front of people, you got to be really careful. If you say one person and you say, "Pat, I really don't like this, you should do that," then that can really put her in a shell, and that can kick her out of Tai Chi and make her feel very self-conscious. So if you have a group, it's okay to give the group points of improvement. I wouldn't say what they did wrong, but points of improvement. And nobody gets upset if you say, "Okay, a lot of you take a big step," like Betty was saying, "Take a smaller step, it's safer." And that's okay. Nobody gets hurt. You can do that. But try not to say to one person in front of everybody. Okay. And then when you give feedback, you want to straight away tell people what is good, what they can do better, show them and practice it. Don't give 3 points and then do something else. Then I remember one of our instructor, he is so keen, he tell people everything that is wrong and what can be done better. And then he said, "Oh, let's do another move." Yeah. So that of course doesn't work. 1 point at a time, practice that point, show people very clearly what you're looking for, what is desirable, and everybody follow me, practice so that people understand what you say, that your feedback become useful. individuals' feedback sometimes it's difficult, and you want to be really more vigilant. Like Betty was saying, safety is more important than accuracy. If someone did something unsafe or high risk, that is important to point out. And I would suggest the first thing is you can do it to the group and say some of you steps so big it might be higher risk of falling. Please take a smaller step. Follow me. This is what I want you to do. No more than one bit over one shoulder width, and get people to practice and watch. And if you keep it doing a couple of times and still didn't get through, especially one person who really, really doesn't get it, then it is a challenging situation. You have to decide whether to say that to this person or to say it afterwards individually. If you have an open mind and be mindful that safety is most important, and then make it in a way that it sort of reserve everyone's dignity, respect for everybody. That's really helpful. So a lot of that comes from your own attitude, your experience. Teaching is just a wonderful art. You learn all the time. Yes, if you care about people and try to feel if you were them, how would you feel? That's usually a good way to learn how to give nice feedback.